Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N' Roses Central. And we're finishing up the Appetite for Destruction album, one song at a time, with our episodes of True Story. And today we're talking about the song Out to Get Me. Now, Out to Get Me was written by Axl Rose, with the music being written by Slash and Izzy Stradlin. Now, this is a song that was actually played for the first time before Appetite for Destruction came out. There's some conflict as to whether it was played on January 26, 1986 at the Starwood Club or on February 28, 1986 at the Troubadour. Some people say the January 26th show probably did not happen, and hence the February 28th date is probably correct. And since the day it was played for the first time to July of 2017, the song has been played live almost a total of 300 times by the band. Now, Duff talked about how they actually came up with the idea behind the song. He told a story about how the cops busted down our door one night looking for Axl. They wanted him to answer for what turned out to be bogus rape charges. Axl didn't do the crime or the time, but the incident inspired a great song, Out to Get Me, which we quickly added to our sets in early 1986. You can hear the depth of our collective anguish in that song, shitting ourselves that the record labels might get wind of the situation and break off their courtship. You Can't Catch Me, I'm Effin' Innocent. That's from Duff's autobiography, It's So Easy, from 2011. Now, Slash has also talked about how they came up with the riff for the song as well, and how him and Izzy came up with the song. So he said it started out with an intro like that, which was Izzy's, and I remember hearing it and then going, that's awesome. The way that song sounds on the record is exactly how it sounded in my head from the second I heard that riff. Izzy's stuff was always easy to expand upon. He would always have a classic line that you could make into a humongous riff. We just ripped through that lead line. Slash also said in his book that a lot of our earlier songs came to us almost too easy. Out to Get Me came to be in an afternoon, even faster than Jungle. Izzy showed up with the riff and the basic idea for the song, and the second he played it, the notes hit my ear and inspired me. That one happened quickly, so I think even the most complicated... That one happened so quickly, I think that even the most complicated section, the dual guitar parts, were written in under 20 minutes. And Slash talked a bit more about when the song was actually written, so it seems like it was written around the time of 1985, early 86. He talked about the period after the Hell Tour to Seattle. Nicky Beat had a rehearsal studio in his house in Silver Lake where we'd go, set up our gear and jam, and that is where the whole band really came together. Izzy had something called Think About You that we liked, and we revisited Don't Cry, which was the first song I'd ever worked on with Izzy. Izzy had another riff for a song called Out to Get Me, that clicked immediately when I first heard it. We had that done in no time. And he also said in a 1988 interview with Hit Parader that I know a big rock star right now who buys all the effing booze and then drinks it all up and gets effing irate. Out to Get Me is Guns N' Roses' big anarchy statement. It's kind of hard to explain this so people can understand it. We were one of the most opposed bands. We had opposition from everywhere the whole effing time, still do. It's not as bad now because we're signed and some people like the shit we do. But we started out with so many people from so many different directions trying to lash out at us and trying to say don't let them in here and don't let them do this and don't let them do that and watch them and this, that, and the other. Now, Axl's frequently dedicated the song during many live performances, but when Appetite for Destruction came out in 1987, there was also a press kit that went out to the media. And in the press kit, Axl actually talked about the lyrics of the song. He said the lyrics are saying, I've always been in trouble, but I'm still handling it. Like every time you turn around, someone is trying to screw you over financially, or the cops are banging on your door and you didn't do anything. It's just being railroaded into something and trying to get out from underneath it. You know, parents, teachers, preachers, everybody. The last verse Slash and I put together as a joke because we're talking about how we get into fights sometimes and how people get pissed off that you're drunk. But they're the ones who bought the bottle of whiskey to get you drunk on. Some people say I got a chip on my shoulder. We had that one as the opening numbers for a while because we were headed to the Roxy show and got pulled over by 4 cops. They picked up a bag off the street, said we threw it out the window, and there were drugs in it. There were no drugs in it, and they were trying to hassle us, saying our advance money in our pockets. Drug money, they searched everything, pushed us around, and we were late for the show. And Slash has been known to perform the song live with his band, with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Usually Todd Kearns, who's his bassist, performed the song live. And there's been a really well-known cover done by Lizzie Hale and her band Hailstorm. She's also performed the song live with Slash as well, and I recommend you guys go check out Hailstorm's cover of the song. Now, there's 2 demos available on YouTube from the song you guys can actually go check out. I've linked to the actual page down below. Now, Out to Get Me is one of 2 songs which Steven Adler has performed live with Guns N' Roses as part of the reunion tour. The other song is My Michelle. There's some concerts where he's performed both songs in the same set, and others where he plays one song or the other. Typically, Guns N' Roses don't play My Michelle and Out to Get Me on the same show. They alternate it between shows. Now let's talk about where the song ranks on the best to worst Guns N' Roses song list. So Spin.com ranked it 20th, while LA Weekly ranked it a bit lower. They ranked it 22nd, but they did say that Bon Jovi's Bad Medicine, released in 1988, uses a melody for the verse that's suspiciously similar to the intro of Out to Get Me. So that does it for my true story episode of Out to Get Me from Appetite for Destruction, guys. There was a lot of stuff more I wanted to cover, but I thought it would just be too much. Like, there's a ton of concerts back from 87, 88, where Axl dedicated Out to Get Me to whoever was pissing him off, whether it was the police, whether it was women, whether it was just people in general who misunderstood the band. So if you guys want to see more information or see some of those long speeches, I've linked to the website down below for you guys to go check them out. Thanks for watching, guys. Have yourself a good one, and let me know your thoughts on the song down below in the comment section, and hit the like video button if you want to see more videos just like this, and subscribe if you love Guns N' Roses. Take care.